Hello. Thank you for joining me. Let's go ahead and get started. Lying on our back. Create some space, allowing the arms and legs to splay open nice and wide if that's comfortable for you. If you do not find comfort lying on your back, you can always stay in a seated position. Come to your side or your belly. Explore some different arm positionings here. Perhaps bring the hands to the belly or take the arms up and over the head. If you'd like, you can even take a bend in the knees, take the feet to the outer edge of the mat, and allow your knees to fall in like knocked knees. That brings a little bit of release or relief to the low back. And just take a moment to settle in here. Clear the mind, allow the body to settle. Effortless inhales and exhales to start. Once you feel nice and relaxed, start to lengthen the inhales and exhales. Allow every inhale and exhale to be just a little bit longer, a little bit more controlled, perhaps even restricting the muscles in the back of the throat, the same muscles that you use when you whisper, to get a little bit more control over the breath. Seeing if you can't work towards using the full potential of your lungs on the inhalation, and on the exhalation, very slowly letting all of the breath out of the body until you feel the belly button pull back towards the spine and the abdominal muscles naturally engage. So think smooth, even inhales and exhales through the nose, somewhere between 5 and 10 seconds in length. On your next inhalation, straighten the legs. Start to take the arms up and over the head. Give yourself a nice morning stretch, really finding length and energy traveling up the arms and out the fingers and down the legs and out the toes. Start to wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes, roll out the wrists, the ankles, just offering gentle movement, waking up the body, whatever feels good for you. Once you're satisfied, go ahead and hug the right knee into the chest. So interlace the fingers somewhere on that shin, if that's comfortable for you, and use the strength in the arms to really pull that knee in. Maybe even start to head over towards that right armpit. You can always bend the left knee if you need to make this more accessible to you. And then just start to guide that right knee side to side, just creating space in that right hip joint. You can always come back to rolling out that right ankle if you'd like. Maybe make some circles, kind of tracing some circles on the ceiling with the knee, if that makes sense. And you can release the grip or you can offer a grip. Just kind of explore here, take some liberties. Set that right leg back down, adjust the hips. If they've gotten away from center, shift them back, and then go ahead and pull the left knee in. Again, finding interlaced fingers somewhere on that shin, using the strength in the arms, starting to move towards that left armpit if you have the space, coming back to that left ankle, starting to make your way side to side and moving through some circles. Releasing the left leg down, getting the hips back to center if they've shifted. And then let's find soles of feet together, knees wide. And kind of explore the positioning of the feet. See what feels best for you, pushing the feet a little bit further away, coming closer to the body. Take the arms up overhead. You can either grab opposite elbows or just gently hold on to a wrist, whatever feels natural, whatever feels good. Really try to release any holding in the hips here, or just allow the knees to be heavy. Check in with the abdominal muscles. Start to engage there. Most likely the belly's soft. There's a little bit of a gap between the back and the mat. See if you can't close that gap. Pull the belly button towards the spine, spine towards the mat. Press the feet together and then find a hover, just a couple inches over the mat. Breath is still long here. Make sure you're not holding your breath. And hold there for another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. If you'd like, go ahead and draw the knees together, allow them to fall side to side, just windshield wipering the knees for a moment, and then let's set that up again. Soles of feet together, knees wide. Find that Goldilocks spot with your feet, and then bring that awareness back to the abdominal muscles. Draw the belly button to the spine, spine to the mat, close that gap, and then press the feet together and find that hover. You can reach up towards the ceiling here. Maybe even start reaching towards the feet, peeling the upper body off of the mat, reaching, exaggerating the length of the arms, energy all the way through the fingertips. Make sure you're not holding your breath, just a few more seconds. And release. Hug the knees into the chest. Maybe some little rocking side to side feels good. Or perhaps tracing some circles on the ceiling with the knees. Giving yourself as much time as you need. Then allowing yourself to fall to one side and press yourself up to a comfortable seated position, whatever that means for you. So you can have a cross to the ankles, you can stack the feet, and then just work out any kinks now that we're in upright position. So just check in with the neck here, the shoulders, start to give some love to the wrists, stretching the fingers, maybe walk the hands out in front of you on the floor. You can get creative. Give a little shake, and then bring hands to the knees. Sit up nice and tall. Draw the shoulders up, and then back, and then down. Wiggle the fingers, wiggle the elbows, make sure there's a heaviness there, a softness there. And then close the eyes or just soften the gaze or draw chin to chest. Set an intention for your practice if you haven't already. Or simply grab a hold of a happy thought to take with you through the practice. Blink the eyes open, lift the gaze. I'll turn around this way to demo here. So staying in a cross-legged seated position, we'll extend the right arm out to the side. You can find fingertips or perhaps your palm, maybe even a little bit of a bend in the elbow. Maybe some of you can make it all the way down to your forearm. Just find your Goldilocks spot there, wherever that right hand feels comfortable. We reach the left arm up and start to spin the palm and take that left arm overhead. If that left sit bone is trying to float up off the mat, send the energy down towards the ground as you reach in the opposite direction with that left hand. Keep actively reaching. Reach through the muscles, not the joints. Check in with the neck. Look up, down, straight ahead, whatever feels good. As long as there's length in the neck, there's intention there, not a heavy head. Good. Inhale brings you back to center. Take a moment. Hands on knees, work through any kinks. Maybe some little circles feel good. Work the shoulders out. Cleansing breath if you need it. And we'll make our way to the other side. Extend the left arm. Find that Goldilocks spot with the hand, maybe the palm, maybe a little bend in the elbow. Once you have that positioning, right arm reaches up. Spin the palm and start to take the arm overhead, actively reaching over to the left side of the room as you pull that right sit bone down towards your mat. Of course, check in with the neck. Make sure there's comfort there. Reaching. Exhalations bring you some space in the left side body there. And the next inhalation brings you back upright. Hands on knees once again, working through any kinks. Shoulders, spine, neck. Let's take our right fingertips behind us, tenting the fingers. Bringing the left hand to the right knee. Inhale, spine long. Exhale, twist over that right shoulder. If you would like to incorporate a neck stretch here, float the gaze back forward. And then allow the head to fall over to the left. Nothing forceful. Still maintaining the twist, just incorporating a bit of a neck stretch. Feeling a nice opening in the right side of the neck. Inhale back to neutral. Release your twist. Hands come back to the knees. Once again, working through any little kinks. And then left fingertips come behind. Gripping right hand, left knee. Inhale, spine long. Exhale, twist over the left shoulder. Again, you can stay here or float the gaze back forward. Head falls to the right. Inhale back to neutral. Release the twist. Hands on knees, working through any kinks there. And then let's go ahead and make our way into a tabletop positioning. So take a moment to refine this. Spread the fingers nice and wide. Perhaps index fingers are parallel. You can curl the toes or find the tops of the feet, your preference. And we want stacking of hips over knees and shoulders over wrists. On the inhalation, drop the belly, turn the tailbone to the ceiling, lift the gaze. The exhale rounds the spine, tuck the tailbone, drop the head, press the mat away from you, get long in the arms. Inhale back to your cow. And exhale, cat. Good. Come back to a neutral table and just take some liberties here. Kind of move around organically, perhaps work into the wrists a little bit, walking the hands to the heels of the hands face one another, the fingertips face the outer edge of the mat. You can find some cat-cows here. Or if you have the rotation, maybe you walk the hands all the way around so the heels of the hands actually face the front of the mat and the fingertips face the knees. And you can even find your cat-cows here. Be especially mindful when it comes to the wrists. We want sensation, but never pain in our yoga practice. So just make sure all is well and everything's feeling good here. Maybe from our starting hand positioning, you can find some circles with the hips. Circles can go in either direction. They can be however big or small you like. Maybe some circles with the spine. So again, we're just checking in here. We're seeing how the body is feeling. We're creating space. We're doing what feels good. Maybe you like to walk the hands around and just kind of check in with the shoulders, with the side body, either direction. Again, there's no right or wrong here. We're moving about. We're doing what feels good. If you'd like to check in with the back of the legs from your neutral table, lift and straighten the right leg, find a nice strong flex to the right foot, plant the ball of the foot and pull the heel back towards the mat. When you're ready, float that knee back down, come to the other side, strong, straight left leg, planting the ball of the foot, pulling the heel down, and return the left knee. Good, back to your neutral table. Let's engage the core muscles, bring a little bit of an easiness to the elbows, press into the tops of the feet, and find a hover of the knees, just a couple inches over the mat. So the core is nice and strong here. The gazes between the hands are slightly forward. Just really strong, holding this hover of the knees over the mat, and then float them back down. Curl the toes, set the hips back towards the heels, just to stretch out the feet and the ankles there. And then adjust yourself into your child's pose. So maybe big toes together, knees wide. Unless you need more support in your back, you can bring the thighs together. Arms can be up overhead or along the side of your body with palms facing the ceiling. Maybe you make some fists, stretch the fingers, roll out the wrists. You can be on forehead, side of face, whatever feels good. Take a moment, reset. Gently float yourself up. If you had thighs together, let's bring some space between the knees, and then we'll plant the palm. Send the right arm out to the side, palm facing the earth, and then thread it behind the left, reaching the hand as far away from you as possible as you gently float down to the right side of your face. Majority of the weight in that right shoulder. You can press the left hand into the earth to twist a little bit deeper. And then we'll rise up. Coming back to frame the gaze, other side, left arm reaches out. Thread the left arm behind the right, float down onto the left side of the face. Maybe press gently into the right hand to twist a little bit deeper. And rise back up. From here, bring the knees together, shift your seat over to one side so you can extend the legs out in front of you. We are going to bring soles of feet together and find your grip, peace fingers to big toes or hands to ankles. Get the feet as close to the body as you can. We're going to find some cat-cows from here. So on the inhalation, press the heart forward, pull the shoulders back, float the gaze up. On the exhalation, round the spine, chin to chest. Pull the elbows wide. Use the strength of the grip that you have. Peace fingers to big toes or hands to ankles. Inhale, press it forward. Shoulders back, lift the gaze. Exhale, round it out. Really lean back on those sit bones, chin to chest. Inhale, press it forward. And exhale, round it out. Good. Inhale, back to a neutral spine. Borrow the hands to draw the knees back together, swing them around. We're just going to pass through our tabletop to make our way to stand. So once you're there, curl the toes, float the knees up, and walk the hands back towards the feet. Shift the weight into the heels. Take a moment here in your forward fold. Maybe grab opposite elbows, some little swing side to side, just a nice low back release. You can heel toe the feet and explore some different distance between the feet and see how that changes the dynamic of the stretch and how that feels for you. Good, let's all make our way back to about a hip width distance with the feet and a slow rise to stand. Once the gaze comes forward, shoulders roll back. Let's check in with the feet here. We want to make sure all four corners are nice and rooted and grounded. We've got easy knees. We're pressing into the pads of the big toes. Inhale, arms up and over the head, finding length. Exhale, fold. Lead with the heart, a straight spine. Fingertips find the earth, maybe forehead to shins. And then inhale, lengthen. Halfway lift, fill the lungs. Exhale, fold heavy again. Inhale, rise up, sweeping the arms up and over the head. Finding length, maybe watching the palms touch, maybe pressing the hips forward. Exhale, take it back down. Slow and controlled. Move with the breath. Inhale, lengthen, halfway lift. Exhale, heavy fold. Inhale, root to rise. Reaching the arms up and over the head, maybe back to that little bit of a back bend. And release. Arms to the side, mountain pose, shoulders back. Soften the gaze, check in. Come back to your breath, back to your intention, your happy thought. Just take a moment. Good. From here, let's find the feet a little bit wider than hip width, heels and toes out. We'll make adjustments as we get where we're going. Take a big inhale, send the arms up and over the head, palms touch. On the exhalation, bend the knees, sink the hips, find the elbows to the thighs. This is where we adjust the feet. So kind of heel toe the feet around, maybe even off the mat if you need to. Let's begin. Inhale, press the heart forward, shoulders back, lift the gaze. Exhale, round the spine, chin to chest, tuck the tailbone. Inhale, press it forward. So cat-cows from this positioning. Exhale, round it out. Inhale, press it forward. Exhale, round. Inhale, press it forward. Good. Release hands to the ground as you heel toe the feet back to your mat, bringing knees and toes to face the same direction. A moment in your forward fold and then slow rise to stand. Good. Shoulders back. Let's bring the feet together, or at least as close as they feel comfortable. If they touch, that's great. If not, that's okay too. Let's interlace the fingers behind us, pull the shoulders back, heart forward to create some space, and then start to work the arms towards straight. Don't force this. Be mindful of the shoulders, the elbows, the wrists. Find pause here for just a moment. Feel yourself drawing the shoulder blades in and down the back. If you want a little added layer here, maybe you start to pull the arms away from the body. Again, we want sensation, not pain. Pause here and breathe. If the arms were away from the body, go ahead and float them back towards you and bend the elbows before releasing interlaced fingers and then shake that out. With the feet still together, inhale the arms up, exhale, bend the knees, sink the hips, chair pose. Look down towards your feet, make sure you can see them just barely peeking out in front of the knees. Gazing about the front of the mat, shoulders back and in their sockets. Let's flow with this. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise back up into your chair, sweeping the arms up, bending the knees, sinking the hips. And exhale, back to your fold. Fingertips to the earth. Keep a decent bend in the knees here if you need to. Bow the head. Inhale, back to your chair. Reaching the arms up, caffeinating the fingers. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise back up into your chair pose. Good. Ears in line with arms. Exhale, folding it out. Letting all of the breath out of the body. Inhale, last one. Rise up, reach up. And slowly make your way to stand. Straightening the legs, releasing the arms. Shake that out. Good. Mountain pose. Offer the palms, shoulders back. Take a moment. Back to your breath. All right, inhale the arms up and over the head. Find length. Exhale, fold. Walk the hands forward. Float the knees down. Find your tabletop. Take a moment to find your alignment, shoulders over wrists, hips over knees, and then shift the weight into the left hand with a little baby bend in that elbow and reach the right arm forward. Right palm can face the earth or can turn like you're shaking someone's hand, and then left leg goes back. Gaze about the front of the mat. Left leg strong and straight. And right hand down, left knee returns to the mat. Give yourself a moment. Make some circles with the hips or the spine. Work out any kinks before coming to the other side. So when you're ready, shift the weight into the right hand. Left arm comes forward. Right leg goes back. Make sure the belly's not soft and trying to drop towards the mat. We want some engagement there. So belly button to the spine. Make sure you're breathing. And then hand and knee return to the mat. Work out any kinks once again. Maybe even move through a cat-cow if that feels good. And when you're ready, we'll come back to that and we're going to add a layer. So right arm, left leg. Perhaps this time you bend that back knee and you reach back and you find the grip hand to foot, inside or outside, whatever happens naturally. Drop the belly, lift the gaze, pull the foot away from your body and up towards the ceiling. Maybe take the gaze over the right shoulder. Gaze comes back forward as you release the grip and slowly return the hand and knee to the mat. Give yourself a moment to listen to your body. No rushing. Most injuries happen in transition. Really take your time. Make sure you are ready to come to the other side. So left arm, right leg. Maybe you bend the knee. Maybe you find the grip. Pulling the foot away from the body, lifting the toes up, dropping the belly, lifting the gaze, maybe taking the gaze over the left shoulder. Add the layers slowly and only if they feel good. We release, hand and knee return to the mat. We work through any kinks, maybe a cat-cow or two. And then we set back into a child's pose. Forehead, chin, side of face, whatever arm positioning feels good. Take a moment, reset. Back to your breath, back to your intention. Gently pressing yourself up. Shifting your seat to one side so you can extend the legs out in front of you. Adjusting yourself on the mat to make sure you have enough room to lie down and eventually straighten the legs. Maybe gripping behind the thighs to make your way down onto your back. Good. Pull the knees into the chest. Giving yourself a big hug, a big squeeze, and then let the knees and feet fall heavy to the left. If you need to adjust the hips, scooching them over to the right, maybe cross the legs or straighten one leg or both. Whatever feels good for you, extend that right arm if you'd like. Cactus the arm, goalpost the arm. The gaze can follow over that right shoulder if you'd like. Just a nice restorative supine twist. No hovering, no holding. So we want the knees and feet to touch down and fall heavy. So whatever modifications or adjustments that you need to make. Pull the knees back through center. Get the hips back to center if you need to. Hug the knees into the chest and make your way over to the other side. Again, making whatever adjustments that you need. Extending that left arm, goalpost, cactus. Check in with the neck. Find your twist on this side. And as you settle in, if you realize you need to make some adjustments, that's okay too. Maybe this side feels different than the other. Honor that. Maybe here, check in with the face. Make sure the jaw is relaxed, the face is soft. And bring the knees back to center. Adjust the hips, hug the knees into the chest. Some little rocking side to side. Maybe making some circles with the knees before planting the feet on the mat and setting up for our bridge pose. So we want to walk the feet in, finding the feet parallel and hip width distance apart. We want to make sure the thighs stay parallel, the knees don't splay open as we rise up as well. So start to press into the feet, lift the hips up off of the ground. Allow the glutes to engage naturally, so we don't want a concentration there. Maybe you walk the shoulder blades in and interlace fingers underneath you as you continue to lift the hips and open up the heart. Visualize squeezing an imaginary block between the thighs to maintain the thighs parallel, and then press into all four corners of both feet to grow some roots there, mindfully pressing into the pads of the big toes. Keep some space between chin and chest. And then slowly release, floating the back down to the mat, drawing the knees into the chest, rocking side to side. Maybe making some circles once again, whatever feels good. Then making your way into a happy baby. So finding either peace fingers to big toes or gripping hands to the outer edge of the feet. As you draw knees in towards the armpits, feet parallel with one another if you have that rotation in the ankles and a heaviness in the low back. And maybe some gentle rocking side to side. Releasing your happy baby, finding the soles of feet together, knees wide, exploring that distance of the feet to the body to find comfort, softening the hips, knees heavy, perhaps arms up and over the head to create some more space in the shoulders. Belly is soft, a natural arch to the back. Maybe even bringing the left hand to the heart and the right hand to the belly, resting the elbows on the mat, just allowing yourself to feel the heartbeat and the breath beneath the hands. Offering some assistance with the hands to guide the knees together before straightening the legs and transitioning into our final relaxation. So the most comfortable positioning for your arms and legs. Once you're there, a big, beautiful inhalation through the nose, filling the lungs completely and entirely, pausing at the top of the breath before opening the mouth and allowing an audible sigh. Letting go of anything that's no longer serving you. Visualizing any stress, anxiety, worry, fear, doubt, leaving your body and floating away. Effortless inhales and exhales here. Make sure the face is soft, the jaw is relaxed. If the tongue is plastered to the roof of the mouth, release it. Maybe bring some space between the teeth or even a slight part to the lips, just to ensure the jaw stays relaxed. You can always pause the video here and offer as long of a final relaxation as you need. Or you can start to wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes, maybe rock the head side to side if that feels good for you. On your next inhalation, taking the arms up and over the head, coming back to that morning stretch before hugging the knees into the chest and allowing yourself to fall over to one side if that feels good for you. We'll all meet in a comfortable seated position. Palms come to touch to seal in our practice. We raise them to the third eye for loving thoughts. Lower them to the lips for loving words. And to the heart center for loving intention. I thank you all for practicing with me. You are beautiful and awesome and perfect and loved. Namaste.